Hello, welcome. This is Shama Besley of Azure Ray Healing, and I'm here with you and the Crystal Fair family just to say hello and to do a quick general reading for you. Last time we did a crystal reading with the Crystal Tarot deck, and it was all swords, which was amazing. So it was like, what are we thinking? What are we communicating? What's coming into our thoughts to move us along? And we did a 5-card reading, and all 5 were swords. So let's see what comes up for us this time. I actually have been given the guidance that I need to use several decks, and I'm just going to run full on. I'm not even going to have any structure to this reading. So one of the decks that I'm using is actually a great deck that my mother gave me. I love it. But it's the Healing Crystals Animal Tarot deck. I love this. It's like this, it's almost like, it's just the same size as a deck of cards. You can chuck it in your purse or anything. And it's basically Healing Crystals, Animal Tarot. So there's actually animals, crystals on here as well. And then I'm also going to use the Starseed Oracle, if that comes up, by Rebecca Campbell. The other one I'm using is a secondary Starseed Oracle, this one here. And so I love this as well. I use it all the time in my readings. And then we are definitely still going to call upon our Crystal Power Tarot deck. So I'm just going to go full on intuitive. We're inviting in our angels, our masters, our ancestors, our guides, those that are here on this timeline, any timeline that's traveled with us, for myself, for you, anyone who's compelled to be here in the space and watch this reading. We are divinely activating, connecting, and grounding this reading to bring through relevant information, loving information from our hearts, souls, and crown here onto the earth plane for you, anywhere on the timeline. Thank you, guides. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, masters, ascended masters, star beings, star family, animal, crystal allies. Thank you for being in all different realms. And with that, I declare the space sacred and protected, and we can start. So I'm just going to go ahead and see what comes up. Okay, Larimar, fantastic. And Larimar, we're also talking about crow medicine. So Larimar and crow medicine. So crow medicine comes straight up, and crow is a lot of times associated with the law. It's associated with truth. It's associated with changes, especially when it comes to work and contracts and cooperation. So when crow comes up, that lets me know that there are some changes coming up in work, possibly even in, contracts and things like this that might be coming up or coming to an end, and also in how we're working and collaborating with others. Obviously, crow is like the sister to the raven. And what they do is they're actually a little bit more earthy, whereas the raven is like, all of our feathered friends are coming in from the spirit realm. They actually bring messages through the air, so messages and communication. So crow is helping you to literally walk in truth, to also bring in communication that help you to get what you need, research what you need to reveal the truth around contracts, around things that you might be collaborating and cooperating on, and any changes in work. So that's the first thing that came out. Any more coming out here for animal spirit? Right. Okay, so I'll move that next. Okay, so we need to be really aware of our vulnerabilities. We need to know that it's a good time for us to share vulnerabilities with those closest to us, but also to be clear on our own boundaries. So sometimes if we've got leaky boundaries, we tend to project onto others when we're unhappy. And we also tend to think that other people are responsible for making us happy. That's what leaky boundaries does. Now, it's an interesting paradox to try to remember how to be vulnerable and yet still have clear boundaries. So amethyst is going to help us with this. So bring in amethyst, bring in armadillo medicine. Armadillos are soft underneath and then the hard shell. But this is not about you being hard or detached. This is about you having clear boundaries. So for instance, if we're talking about this in terms of work, in terms of changing a contract, if something is coming up to you that's asking you to make a change that you're not comfortable with, it is your job. No one else's job, your job, to feel into that change and to feel into your boundaries around it. If it's going to challenge you in a way that means that you can't feel safe or support yourself or feel protected, You really just need to feel where your boundaries at. Now, sometimes these things are uncontrollable, but the one thing we can control is making sure that we honor our boundaries. It's nobody else's responsibility to read our minds, to read our energy. People can, they can pick up on things, but it's our energy to know our own boundaries. I'm going to get into that and see if there's other guidance around that, but that it really has to do with work and contracts and changes and cooperation. Okay, so let's see how that shows up. Okay, you do have some choices coming up. The Emperor comes up, which is red jasper, and the Emperor is asking us to make empowered decisions. We were just talking about work and collaboration and speaking your truth and being clear on your own boundaries. The Emperor is saying to you, it's basically, the king. The Emperor is saying to you that you are going to make empowered decisions. In order to make an empowered decision, you need to understand your own boundaries, and you need to understand what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you. Larimar, amethyst. Okay, red jasper is going to help you to ground in and earth it in. So if you can create an elixir, amethyst, Larimar, red jasper. If you don't have them, create a proxy, wrap it up on a piece of paper, wrap it around a jar, activate it. Okay, it's all energetic. If you can get these crystals, if you don't have them, from any of the crystal vendors on the Crystal Fair website or any of your favorite local shops. Okay. All right. In terms of what's going on cosmically that's making us feel a little shaky, it's important to remember that we are, star beings, eternal beings, light beings, whatever you prefer, having a human experience right now, and that we are living in this world, but we've been here before, and that we're seeing some cycles repeat themselves, and you have access to a lot of wisdom that's going to be able to help you to make these empowered decisions. So to look a little bit deeper, not on the surface. Okay, feel into it. Take it into the inner worlds for a minute. See if anything comes up in your dreams about it. See if you're getting any signals in your dreams. And know that there's potentially something that they're not telling you. There's a hidden secret. And it's important for you to look a little bit deeper. Now, this is really important when it comes to contracts and changes at work as well. You're going to need to come up and ask the right questions in order to make that empowered decision. And remember what your boundaries are. You don't need to get angry. You don't need to push, because you can stay really clear and firm in your boundaries. Remember, if you're in the Emperor energy, you can be vulnerable and share vulnerabilities, which is, this isn't going to work for me. But you can do that from a place of balance and not from a place of reaction. So remember, we're being asked potentially to see between the lines, to read between the lines, to ask the questions that perhaps aren't on the surface when it comes to these changes, contractual changes, work changes. Okay, and remember that you've done this before, so you've got this ancient wisdom that you can tune into. And remember that we are eternal star beings. We're very lucky, and we're having this human experience. So just to remember that that's really important in the grand play of things. Let's find out what our challenge is going to be around. No, I don't need a challenge. We don't need a challenge. The challenge has already said, sorry, Spirit just said, no, we don't need a challenge. What we need to know is basically what this is applying to in your life and in what area. And we're going to see that right now. Okay. So basically, again, the advice and how to move forward with this, and we already said this, but this is a confirmation. Remember that you're a child of the cosmos. Remember that the intelligence of the universe lies within you. You have the answer to all questions. You just have to ask them, tune into them, read between the lines, understand that we've already been given the knowledge that there's something hidden, there's something that's not on the surface in this situation. So it's your job to bring it in, to understand your boundaries, and if something's not feeling quite right in this contract or this change, to ask the right questions to reveal what's hidden, to reveal what's not on the surface. Okay. Is there any other information and guidance that Spirit would like to give us at this moment on this reading? Anything that's going to be helpful? Any final messages? It's a quick, short reading. So is there anything else that'd like to come up? Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we've got another animal spirit guide and potentially another stone that we're going to add into your elixir here. So closing message for you. Oh, yeah. You're feeling a bit disconnected with everything that's happening. So it's going to be really good to jump into your primal energy and your primal essence. Move your body, get some blood flowing, tap into the earth, take your shoes off, stand outside. If it's snowing where you are, put your hands in the snow, feel it, see your breath in the air, feel the freshness. Reconnect with nature in that primal energy, that primal instinct to give you power. So right now we're feeling a bit disconnected from everything. Everything's happening online. Everything's happening virtually, virtual Christmas, virtual Thanksgiving. Can't spend time with your kids if they come home from college. We understand these are cycles of things that come through, but nature is asking us, our soul and our cosmic understanding is saying, connect to your body, connect to your blood, and connect to the earth wherever you are. If it's warm, stand in the sun for 5 minutes, shake, move your body, get that primal energy moving. This is key to helping you stay balanced and making the best, most empowered decision. You must be in your body to make this decision. You can't make it all from your head. You must be in your body. You have to feel this, okay? And this is what I'm going to ask you to speak. Help me to restore my connection to divine source to make the best decision. Do this with yourself outside, and that's all you have to say. Breathe in. Help me to restore my connection to divine wisdom to make this decision. Okay. I hope this was helpful. And if these changes are part of what's happening in your world, the elixir is amethyst, larimar, and red jasper. Okay. Boundaries, contracts, questions. Making an empowered decision from the Emperor's seat because you're in your body and you're asking questions to reveal what's hidden. Then you can make an empowered decision. It's going to be okay. Blessings. Thank you for being here. Lots of love. Enjoy the week. This was December 11th through December 16th, and we'll see you next time. I hope this is helpful. Okay. Shama Besley signing up. Bye-bye.